everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Dr. Elisa White?
I am doing fantastic. It's an incredible Thursday morning. I get to share my first few hours with you, and that's been going great. I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. I'm so glad to have you. And I know that we are on a time difference. So where are you located?
I am in Arizona, where it's Mountain Standard Time, and it's 3 hours earlier here than it is in Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. Because I knew it was going to be like 7 something. It's 10 something. Anyway.
Yes, it's only 8 now. So.
Well, you look mighty beautiful and bright to be 8 in the morning wherever you.
Oh, thank you. Don't flatter me now.
My goodness. Listen, whoever you're visiting in from as well in the virtual studio audience, we'd love the opportunity to shout you out and to just say thank you for being here with us today. We have a great show lined up for you, and we're going to be talking with Dr. Elisa White to learn about, as she already says, she's the #1 mindset disruptor. So today, get ready for your mind to be disrupted in a very, very positive way, right?
Yes, let's do it.
So if people were trying to figure out what am I going to be listening to for the next hour or so here, what would you say in a nutshell so that they get a chance to know a trailer? Don't give it all away.
Don't give it all away. Just a sneak peek. So one of the things, Kim, about what I've discovered with my own journey of, I don't know which of us have not gone through experiences and hiccups and sometimes even trauma. Most of us had in one way or the other. One thing might be traumatic experience for you and another not for me, but vice versa. I find that one of the things that our experiences and our process of growing up, we have had to quote unquote cope. And also, while we're coping, we were taking in from our family members, the environment, and those experiences, a certain type of thinking. Yeah. I have this thing I go by is think, say, do, become, which means whatever we think, it's what we begin speaking, it's what we do, and it gives us the results that we're getting or not getting. So with intention, I believe that mindset shift. See, we all have a mindset, right? We all have one. It's whether or not it's working in our own favor or not. So with mindset disruption and shifting our mindsets with intentionality to get the results that we want, it's why I determined that I was going to work on that level no matter what I was involved in. How is my mindset? How am I thinking? What am I speaking? What am I doing? And how is that summing up to my life and my experiences in life?
Yes. All right. Listen, then you all had already a little what is it, a teaser or a trailer so that you can know exactly what you're staying in tune for coming up after this commercial break. So we'll be right back, everybody, with Dr. Elisa White.
Thank you.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we're back and we're talking with Dr. Elisa White, and I would like to just introduce her to you all. You're going to learn so much about her throughout this hour, but Her Excellency Ambassador Professor Dr. Elisa White is a dynamic, trailblazing individual who has vast experience in public and international policy. She has worked in different global initiatives as the lead person amongst being the founder and CEO of Fulfillment Empowerment Network USA, an initiative that has seen young people across West Africa acquire entrepreneurial skills and capital to start up SMEs. She is the vice president of Save the Girl Child Advocacy Africa. She's also the accreditation director for Europe, MENA, and Asia at International Internship University, and recently was appointed as Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Diplomacy and Public Policy for Berlin. Listen, I am so honored to have this woman, Dr. Elisa White, with us today. She knows about the mind, and she's going to help us disrupt ours a little bit today. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you so much again for that. It's been an honor, and I'm very humble and blessed to get to be a part of the things that I do. But most importantly, I'm so passionate about seeing ambitious game changers. Every human I come into contact in my work or just in my personal life, really, truly connecting with their authentic self and living that life that they were created for, which I call a purpose-grounded, purpose-driven life. And so the way it's always to understand first your why. Why are you here? I feel like all the things that we're going to talk a little bit about my journey, what pulled me and continues to pull me through is understanding my purpose and my why, which gives me reason for everything that I do. And at the core of that is how I think. I was raised as in church, and so hopefully no one's offended, but no one can disagree with me that you never, ever, I say as a man or woman, think it's so he or she, but you have not done anything today. Even the fact that you got up out of your bed or even off the couch, if you crashed there last night, you had to think of putting your feet on the ground and move to the bathroom so you can use the restroom. So it's always a thought. And with that being said, that is staring. So the question is, Kim, where did my thoughts and ideas and ideals come from?
Absolutely. That's actually, I believe, where we'll go ahead and get started with today's discussion, because you came to America by way of Guyana, South America. So I would like for you to kind of talk to us about just that journey alone of migrating to the United States. That's its own starting point for you.
It sure is, right? I can use it to be a victim or an overcomer, right? So I was born and raised in beautiful Guyana, South America. It's right between Venezuela and Brazil, and it is on the north side of South America, which kind of hangs us over to the Caribbean. So we've got a melting pot of cultures that diverted from, becoming an independent nation from British. So we've got that British twist going on. Then we got the island vibe, but then we're still in Latin America. So with 6 races, it was just such an honor and privilege to grow among diverse culture. So I moved to the USA about age 24, but growing up in Guyana, South America, which is considered a lesser developing country, one of the main things that had me in life literally understand the mind and how the brain works is my own journey. When I was about 14 years old, I suffered a head injury that caused me to lose my memory for almost a year. I had suffered damaged tissues around my brain. The thing about that specific thing, Kim, is that damaged tissues around the brain, there's no way to fix it. There's ways to give therapy and practices and all that. But one of the things that significantly happened to me, and it was a result of 2 things. Number one, I had those damaged tissues, but the trauma and my intent as a human just to respond to cope with the traumatic experience.
Right.
I scrubbed my memory.
So let me interject there for a second. You're saying at the age of 24, you came here to America, but at the age of 14, while you were in Guyana. While you were still in Guyana, South America, you had a brain injury. What caused that brain injury?
So that was in a domestic violence situation at the hands of a family member in the household that hit me in my attempt as a 14-year-old to protect another family member. So that was just, again, like I said, the traumatic experience in and of itself that surrounded the onset of that and so on.
Yes.
And then the actual impact to the head that caused damage to tissue in the brain, what the doctors explain, that's caused me to lose my memory. Because what we don't understand is a lot of us lose parts and pieces of ourselves throughout traumatic experiences
Of course.
because we're trying to cope and process that.
Yes.
So what had happened was, what my family members would explain to me, that I reverted to about 3 years old.
Everybody in the family, everyone in the family knew that this wasn't something you were just making up. This was literally a doctor diagnosed memory brain injury that had
Yes, I
occurred.
saw several doctors, and they came down to, they couldn't do anything. It's by fate and hope that the damaged tissues in my brain repair. But they did therapy and worked with me. And over time, what was happening with me, I was suffering with silent seizures. I was made to be understand. And
Right.
over time, with therapy and with prayers, from me, prayers,
Yeah.
I would say, miraculously within a year or so, I made a recovery that was still ongoing. What the doctor said to me is that I couldn't finish high school. I was very well known even at the time, and in my earlier childhood and elementary, excelled academically.
Okay.
That was one of the things that was really a big part of what everyone knew about myself and even my siblings. And so the doctors are looking at my mom and they're saying, she's not going to be able to go to school. She's not going to be able to finish school. I was out of school for pretty much a year.
Right.
Well, like I said, when you think about how the mind, that's where my journey with mindset shifting works, because there are diagnoses. There are things that you're supposed to be or not supposed to be according to man's law,
Right.
medical science. But what do you think about yourself? And so I am blessed to have a mother who, number one, supported me on everything. She was there side by side, did have a village. And this is why even a lot of my work, I talk about going back to the village. I had a village of church people, community members, family members that prayed and also was there to support my healing journey. And most, if not everyone, knew I was going to make a full recovery. And so I did. And that was number one. When we think about the term fate, is you think it, and it's something that you have not seen yet. And so once I start to recover, I said I wanted to go to school. And the doctor's like, well, she can go to school, but she can't pressure that brain because we don't know, she might
what is
go
going to
back
be the
to
reaction
Right.
to the pressure and the stress.
Exactly. So I was
Just conditional stress that happens just with learning in itself.
Exactly. My brain, from what the doctors were saying, she shouldn't do that just yet. Well, I didn't listen quite well. I wanted to be normal. And, my mom didn't want me to do too much, but she supported and monitored how much I was doing. Well, I did finish and wrote the exams in the Caribbean. We have to write a certain exams, and wrote the exams. And I applied to college in the USA, University of Delaware, and got accepted as well for that. And that would be about 3 years out. So my life was starting to take a shift because, number one, I did not accept a quote unquote death sentence. And my mindset was, I am going to do if I made it past that. And as a matter of fact, I had an aunt who sat with me. She's like, you can never play with the blessing that God has allowed you to come full circle.
Right.
You have so much purpose, something spectacular about you. So don't you dare think outside and be limited in any kind of box. Just think big, and whatever you dream, we're here to support you. That's what my family stance was. And so I was like, you know what? All the things, I started to dream. And I didn't think about the fact that I had a head injury. And that's the thing that I believe so early in life I learned. So as life's journey propelled, no matter what came my way, I was like, we already overcame that.
That's right.
Is
so then you can overcome anything pretty much once you've overcome a brain traumatic injury that was something that just happened out of the blue to you,
Exactly. And so, Kim, you know what I have to say? We all have that part, something that happened in our life that we've overcame. We've got a track record. And we don't usually pay attention to that. We look at where we're thinking we ought to be and where we intend to be in the future and say, well, I'm not even halfway there. I'm failing. That is not true. But
That's
that,
right.
again,
You come
is
a
the
mighty long way
mindset.
from where you were. So
Exactly. Yes, that's a
still,
mindset.
yeah, still recognizing and just acknowledging and giving some level of kudos to the fact that you've come from somewhere. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are definitely much further along than you were. So,
Right. The difference is between here and here, I find, from where you are and where you want to be. And that's how you're thinking, your brain. And so that mindset shift that I am so heavily into, no matter if I'm working with leaders, if it's business strategy, it's career strategy, I am telling you, I am the biggest blocks, the biggest issue I have with clients is, and with my own self, it's how am I thinking? And that's how I'm doing, how I'm thinking. So it doesn't end there. Like I said, that was childhood. I still had to grow up.
You had to grow up, and you actually got married at the age of 22. So that takes on its own dynamics. And so when we come back after this commercial break, we're going to hear about your married years and how your mindset was disrupted in that process of life. But before we take a commercial break, Mackenzie backstage, I want to make sure we go to some of the comments that are here as well. It's just so we can acknowledge some people. Let's see. And let's see. Let me see some of these comments. I've been waiting impatiently for this broadcast. Muhammad, thank you so much for tuning in. The wait is over. It's here. Rise and shine, everyone. Judy says, the great Les Brown. Yes, we are streaming live on Dr. Les Brown's Facebook page, as well as on CTR Media Network and Believe in Your Dreams Network. So we're streaming on multiple platforms and on the Kim Jacobs Show as well. So you can follow Kim Jacobs Show on any of the platforms. I am in the DMV area. Juanita, glad to have you today. All right. Good morning. Good morning to you, Brianna. This is for you. Guyana's in the house. Michelle said, dear land of Guyana. All right.
Yay, Guyana, 592.
You know how you be like, well, I say 757, but you say 592.
Yeah. 623 now.
Donna said blessings to you all. Blessings. Okay. I'm liking this live, Adi says. And I do want to take a moment. Let's see. I'm not going to put the comment up, but I will say, Charles, I'm going to acknowledge your comment. And I do see that. It's not across all of the platforms, but I do want to take, just for those that, Mackenzie, I'm just going to acknowledge it by saying what I'm saying here. But Charles is asking for prayer, everyone. He says that his 29-year-old son was murdered. And my friends, this life is in a thriller scene, and he goes on to, it's a longer message. But I just want to say right now, Heavenly Father, Lord, I'm just asking you to let Charles and his family be covered with your grace and mercy. Let them have an understanding, Lord, that we will reunite with our loved ones again in the future. This is Kim Jacobs' belief, not the belief just of the show in any way, shape, or form. But I personally believe that I'll reunite with my loved ones again in the future. And I'm asking that you just put your loving arms around the White family as they go through this time of bereavement in their lives. Lord, I know that you are the author and the finisher of our faith, Lord, and you can do all things but fail us. So, Lord, I'm asking you to give peace and comfort where it's needed right now for this family. And I'm praying in Jesus' name, but all of you that are praying in whatever name or whomever's name you're praying in, send your prayers and love to the White family. Charles White, that's a prayer for you as you requested, okay? All right. We got to take a moment to just acknowledge when you have guests that's tuning into your show and need prayer. We are, like he said, none of us are better than anybody else. Let me address that too. I'm not better than anybody else on this earth, and neither are you. So I believe that God has no respect of person, and what he can do for one person, he can do for another, and even greater. So that's my view on that. I'm liking this live. Thank you, Mackenzie, for bringing that back up, and blessings. I see you. Praise God. I see you, Clifford. And powerful conversation, a Facebook user said, watching from Northwest Indiana. Good morning to you. Good morning. Absolutely, Dr. Alisa. It's all about having a great mindset.
Yes.
When we come back, talk to us about your married years, and then we're going to get even deeper into the mindset disruption. Okay.
I am ready.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, we're talking with Dr. Alisa White, and today as we're bringing balance to this world, each household, one household at a time, she's going to be talking with us more about mindset disruption. And you can stay connected with her. How can they stay connected with you? Let's tell them that now.
The hub for everything with me to connect is to easily just go to my website at alisawhyte.com. That's ALISAWHYTE.com. But on all social media, you can find me as Alisa White. If you type in Dr. Alisa White, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere, and Clubhouse. We rock out with the Les Brown. I get to be a co-mod with Dr. Kareem Ellis on the Les Brown Monday Night Motivational Show on Clubhouse. So that's been an amazing space. You want to jump over there. You don't have to pay to be on Clubhouse and listen in. So get your Monday blessing. So I'm just, you can find me at Alisa White everywhere. And we have it up here in the screen, Alisa White Speaks. And if you go over to my Instagram and you inbox me and you say money mindset in the inbox, outside of the gift we have for everyone here, Kim, I've got a special gift of full training and tools on your money mindset, because we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I would love as many people that hear this to go get that, because that is a program that I've created and I already have it recorded, and I'll get the whole kit over to you. And that's only if you go to my Instagram, follow me and inbox money mindset. So
money mindset. Somebody type that in the comments so that you don't forget what you're supposed to put on her IG page. Type money mindset.
Yes.
And type that. That's what you need to put when you go over to her IG page. And then that will get you. Do I put this link that you sent me here?
Yes, that one you will get the free gifts that I have. 21 days to a positive mindset is on that page. And then as we talk about purpose here, there's a couple of things too you can grab from that page that I prepared for the guests. So it's Alisa White /free gift.
And now, do you want me to put that in the comments now? Is that okay?
Yes, you can. Sure.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to wait until they went to IG. Okay, here we go. So it's the alisawhite.com /free gifts.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. So talk to us. So at this point, what I really want to know is, you came from Guyana, but before you left Guyana, you also got married and you started a family. So tell us about that.
Yes. So I got married quite early. I'm pretty sure you can hear with my journey. It started my own business at age 17 in Guyana, South America. I like to tell my clients and anyone who would listen to me that pain has a way of pushing you into purpose. So pay attention. It is no coincidence the things that you will experience in life. So at age 17, I got out of high school. Of course, I did recover what would seem fully and moved into graduating high school and getting my.
Look at that.
Well, we have something called Caribbean examination. You get your subjects, and then you're able to go off to university. So I started to go part-time, and I was looking for work. Couldn't find work. I was just hanging on to my last year, being 17, going into 18. And so I can't find work. We had a government freeze, just a young brown girl looking for work. Work was not available. But I had individuals, because of my academic success, saying, can you help my daughter? She's not doing great in school. This is what you do. Can you help? My mom at the time had already started a preschool program about 2 years after her divorce, she became an entrepreneur. And so with that being said, our family was looked at for as the education pillar, one of the education pillars in this community. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I'll help, because I didn't have anything going on. I couldn't find work, right? And I'm going to school part-time. Well, that led to me realizing that the one child I started to tutor, there was more wanting to be tutored. And the issue was not that these children did not understand. They could not read and comprehend. So that's where the idea between the government saying, hey, we're going to train whoever applies. We got spots for about 100 people to be trained to be literacy facilitators. And I signed up. I was like, hey, this is what these children are suffering. Well,
Right.
that led to me opening up over that summer these classes for children from the age of 4 all the way, because more people started coming, and now I needed to create a facility, and it
Right.
moved on. At age 18, I'm hiring teachers, because now it's not just a literacy, it's math and English, it's social studies, it's science. And I am
So you're a straight
a trained
entrepreneur
professional.
business owner at this
So
point.
let me tell you. So yes, I was having fun. So I did not end up going to work for anyone. When I did, it was to work on government projects with policies for early childhood education. Oh, and then I did do part-time. An institution called AGDA hired me to teach literacy and reading again for school dropouts while I was still running my business. So I was just having a blast, and I was making lots of money, way more than my schoolmates who end up getting hired. So what I
Right.
was saying is that the pain of not being able to find a job, if you look at it, what I had was a track record. So by the time I'm in the USA and I got married in Guyana, and you're excited, I was handling my business, man.
Yeah, so
I'm
you came prepared to
Yes,
live the American dream according to what you like. I'm
well,
already
that's
coming
what
here.
they say, right? They say, but I wasn't sure when I first came. I'm like, man, I have to start from scratch on basically everything. But you're young and you're married, you're excited, you've got plans, you've got dreams as a couple,
Right.
but things happen, things happen. And we
Yeah.
had some really rough times. The biggest struggle we had was actually achieving achieving pregnancy. And so we went through I went through, I say we because it was a team effort, but my body went through 3 doses of the highest form of medication to be able to produce the eggs that are necessarily, and they put the sperm and the egg together, and then you get pregnant. Well, after all that, I did attain pregnancy and miscarried very early. That for me was the most painful thing, because once I got to the USA, very quickly I got hired to start a preschool program, a Christian preschool program.
Right.
So I didn't have, I got here on Saturday and Wednesday, I had a job. It's almost that it was waiting for me. They're like, we've been trying to put this together for some time, and we heard you have the experience. Can you please work with us? So that project went very well, and that was the focus once that got going. You're like, okay, I've been married now for 5 years at this well, it would have been about 3 years this time. What's
Right.
going on? And this is the doctors looking at you. I'm like, that can't be. I've worked with children my entire years. That's my dream, is to have children. I want to
Right.
have 2 and adopt 15. I mean, what are you talking about? And so it would be, I say, Oprah wrote a book the other day about a year ago. What happened to you? You realize what I've realized in our process as humans. Remember that little girl who had a brain injury who still was unstoppable?
Right.
Well, as
Right.
you got older, it's like that unstoppable nature start to deplete. You start to think that I'm supposed to be this way because everyone's expecting me. I'm supposed to do this because everyone's said I'm really good at that. And so it was that whole process of going through and having a miscarriage and then looking at divorce at about age 34. It was like, who am I? Have I done
Okay.
this all wrong? You start to question everything. And
So-
the confidence levels drop. Because I'm looking at all the things I didn't get, which was particularly, I wasn't able to keep that marriage going, not to point fingers at myself or anyone. The collective, the 2 of us together, it didn't work out. I didn't achieve. Why would God do that? Why would he not let me have kids? And so everything is in a place of like, I'm lost. What happened to the girl who overcame that brain injury and became an entrepreneur at 17 plus? She doesn't have as much confidence and hope and even faith anymore sitting at age 34 in that spot.
Wow. Listen, you're saying so many things that are resonating with people today watching this show. You've dealt with brain injury as a child that was out of your control, beyond your circumstances, beyond your control. You've dealt with marriage and ending in divorce.
Yes.
You've dealt with attempting to get pregnant. Yes, you get pregnant, and then you not able to have the children come to this earth, even though yes, you're still mom, and we know that. So you became
No, I'm not. I'm not a biological mother. I haven't
my point is something different than what you're saying. My point is those two children are still yours, technically speaking. That's what I was saying.
In heaven. Yes.
But let me say this, that people, we deal with a lot of grief, and I have Cassandra, one of our team members, put together some statistics based on whatever our topic is for today. So out of everything that she saw on what you would be discussing, one of the things that she shared is it's unclear, according to these statistics, which is the recoveryvillage.com. We'll put that in there, mental health, grief, and statistics. Most people grieve after all types of events, is what this says, such as the loss of a loved one. This usually causes symptoms of depression, anxiety for months afterwards. And some of the statistics are just alarming, but older adults experience grief at a higher rate than younger adults, according to this statistic. And spousal loss is common in older adults, as well as the death of friends, siblings, and cousins. But about 2.5 million people die in the United States annually, leaving at least 5 grieving people behind. And it's estimated that 1.5 million children, which 5% of the children in the United States, have lost one or both of their parents by the age of 15.
Sounds about right.
This is just, to me, these are alarming statistics.
Yes.
And when you were sharing some of your story, I want people to have this resource. And it's just a resource that we were able to pull off of the internet. You can QR code it.
Yes, QR code that.
And be able to just learn more about some of the grief statistics that are out here and how we can overcome or handle.
Kim, I am so glad you went there, because we just went over some staggering statistics on the major life events. Even the ones I've highlighted are those pivotal moments for me. But a lot of people are grieving the loss of a job. A lot of people are grieving a torn friendship. There are so many, a loss of a career dream. Some of us, because we ended up
health,
lots
of
so
relationships,
because it's a list. And that's why just this Saturday, I am put the mindset to struggle. Most people are like, she's doing a grief workshop. Yes, I am. Because if I'm going to help you shift your mindset, first, you're going to have to understand, how did you even develop that mindset? So I have a grief class this weekend, just so we can learn how to cope. Those are techniques and tools that I had to develop for myself. And it's also plugged in with research and how we are to cope, because everyone is grieving. Just the fact that we went through a scary 2020 where everyone was thinking, I don't want to get COVID. And we've lost family members. We've lost friends. We had to work from home. We lost our social experiences. It's never going to be the same. They're saying it's the new normal, and it is a new normal. But in that process to a new normal, we had losses, which creates a feeling of grief. And it's real. And if not handled properly, we take off in a mindset trend that we continue to build. That becomes a set foundation for us that everything is built on, and it's interjected. And no, they don't put all kinds of things in the mixture of the concrete and of the cement that becomes the concrete. They use water and cement. If they put oil in there, if they put any kind of other chemicals in there, they're not going to have the foundation. So grief comes in, and if not handled properly, it becomes damaging to the foundation of who we are and what we become and what we do from that point on. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that.
I
A
am.
lot of grief in my journey. And I remember being depressed. I remember even at one point being suicidal. Like, why am I even here? And that's what I said. I had to go back to, particularly at around age 33, when I was looking at divorce, looking at the
Right.
fact that I miscarried those babies after everything. I questioned everything. And we all get to that spot at some point in our life where we're like, am I doing this right? And we have a choice to make. It's one, listen to what comes up and versus what we think we are supposed to be doing. Keywords, think we are supposed to.
That's
If you're
right.
saying I'm supposed to, well, everyone thinks, you are not living your own life. You're living
That's right.
someone else's life. A
That's
lot
right.
of your decisions might be based on your response to the traumatic experiences or the disappointments. So I say, if you're hearing us today, if you're hearing us, whether it's on my platform or Miss Kim's platform or Dr.
Yeah.
Les Brown's platform, if you
Yeah.
hear this message, I am going to challenge you to go back to your core. What do you truly value? What do you value and what do you truly believe? And that will lead you back to who you truly are, your authentic self. And from that place, start to look at where you're at and compare to where you want to be.
That's right.
Once you do that, ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? And I say, go at least 3 layers deep. So, sitting there at age 34 and looking at divorce, the question was for me, so I want to become a corporate leader where I am transforming how organizations teach and treat their individuals that work for them, which affects their
Right.
bottom line. I want to see that corporate and organizations, anyone who's leading, value people as a person first, and
Okay.
then as an employee. Because I believe that is the prime. In my own journey as an entrepreneur, as a young girl, I realized the biggest deal about my success in that business we built was that we created a family that valued each person that worked with and for us as a
Right.
person first.
Excellent.
At our staff, I cooked meals for my staff very often.
So
And
you
we
went to the extreme to make people feel comfortable
Yes,
and a culture of family and
yes.
unity and synergy
And I
and
learned
that.
that so early, naturally, because when you're young, you're more free spirited and you
That's
flow.
right.
And I was given a space by my community, by my family to create what I wanted. And that was, I say I got really spoiled because once I start working, I'm creating systems and organizations that are just like, why are you doing that? You're going to spoil them. They're not going to listen to you, Dr. Lisa. They're not going to listen to you. But that's not true. And I had proof.
I think they'll listen to you. I think they're.
That's what they were saying. They're not going to listen to you, but I proved them wrong.
Oh
What
yeah,
I'm saying
they're
is
gonna
that
listen to you. You
that
have
was
something to say.
exactly. That was my passion. And the question for me was, why was that my passion? Why was that my passion? And so as I looked at it, it was because I want to see individuals change. But when I had the dream of becoming a psychologist, a MD, PhD, it was more or less like, well, that's the expected path for a girl who did so well in her academic
Right.
years, right? And well, when you do that, well, what are you doing that for? The applause of men and people, and then what?
Great.
So when you dig with those three, why you're doing what you're doing in your life, you'll have the answer to, am I living authentically my life or I'm living someone else's life?
Somebody else's life, and you chose to live your own life. So
That's right.
listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna learn more about how the mindset works when we also come back from this commercial break. But before I take a break, I do want to. I see you. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show virtual studio audience, and I also see you, Grace, in Nigeria. Glad to have you. I do want to take a moment. I see you from Somalia as well. Kwasim, it's a pleasure. Thank God. Wellington from Nigeria and Denton watching from Guyana as well. Money mindset. You're right. Type that into her DM on her Instagram account and you will be able to get a free gift. So make sure that you go here to at Alisa White, WHYTE speaks, and put in the DM my money mindset, right?
Money mindset. That's
Money
all we gotta say.
mindset,
2
and you will
words.
get a free gift. So I do want to take, I wasn't gonna timestamp this episode because I wanted to stream it again, but you talked about your workshop this weekend and all of that. So I have to, it's already timestamped at this point. So I was gonna try not to date stamp it and leave it generic. But I was like, she got stuff coming up this weekend. So now we all know it's not gonna be, I can't replay. But anyway, here's the thing. I want to let you all know that I have a passionate project as well. It's in honor of my son, Gabriel Michael Jacobs. And many of you that follow the Kim Jacobs Show, you know that he transitioned at the age of 12 years old to be in heaven. And so with Gabe's Heart Foundation, every year we do a 5K walk, and it's to raise awareness of heart defects and sudden cardiac death in adolescents, as well as anti-bullying, which is something that he stood very strong for, to help everyone else know that they were someone special. So I encourage you all, if you are able to, on September 24th, we have our annual 5K walk. And I want you to walk in honor of any of your loved ones that have transitioned. A lot of people have passed away during the COVID and lots of other reasons as well, non-COVID related. Please come out and walk, whether it's virtually or in person, and represent your loved one. And you can go to gabesheartfoundation.org. The donation amount is any amount, but if it's suggested $15, but if any amount, and that goes towards our Random Act of Kindness Week, where we go out and give gas, groceries, uniforms, food, medicine, the finances towards medication, you name it, all different types of giveaways during our Random Act of Kindness Week, that we call it Doing It Gabe's Way with the proceeds. So make sure you can walk virtually or you can walk in person. You can wear t-shirts representing your family member that you're honoring and come on out and walk. You can also, on there, on my social media page, it tells you what the hashtag Gabe's Heart Foundation, Just Keep Beating, Doing It Gabe's Way, and we'll pop it up if you're not walking with us, but you want to send your photos or your videos in, okay? All right. So when we come back after this commercial break, Dr. Elisa, do me a favor and let's talk about how mindset works and what's your solution to disrupting the mindset in a way that works favorably for people. When we come back, we'll be right back.
Nothing says I love you more than Final Expense Insurance Whole Life.
We're back then. So I don't know what happened on that, but we'll go back. Let me do it one more time. Mackenzie, I'll do it over here, okay? I'm going to go now.
Nothing says I love you more than Final Expense Insurance Whole Life Protection with Funeral Advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
All right, now we're back for real. All right. Dr. Elisa, talk to us about mindset. I want us to walk away with some nuggets from you.
Yes, absolutely. So why is a mindset shift important? Because a lot of times, like I said earlier, the mind can be, a lot of times we think that we are our own worst enemy, and we could be, but our mindset is already there. Everyone has it. As I said at the beginning of the show, we each have a mindset. It's just how we decide to use it. And so with the mindset shift and disrupting the mindset, again, you pointed out so well, Kim, that we all have grief. We all have things that we've gone through. And that between the things we've experienced and what we've looked at from our community members or family members, how we grew up, the environment, it has molded us into what we've become. And so we've determined certain things about ourselves as a result. And so when I talk about using the mind as your tool, I'm talking about shifting from limiting beliefs and understanding that you get to determine what results you have. So when I talk about the mindset shifting, is I ask my participants and clients to question what you're telling yourself. Remember, I said at 8, by the time I got to age 34, I was questioning everything. So when you
Right.
look at the why you're looking, I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm going to walk us through a 5-step to validate whether what we're thinking and what we're believing, is it true?
Okay.
So I say, what is one thing you have? I just worked with a client who couldn't get her driver's license in her adult years. And so I'm like, why are you having issues? So she said, well, I have written the test. I did pass the written portion of it, but I am so afraid of going to take the driver's test, the actual manual. And my question is, why are you afraid? She's like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to crash, or I'm just going to mess it up. And I said, okay, well, why do you think so? She said, because I tried and I failed the practical portion.
So she's basing it on experience. She's basing it on past experience.
Exactly. So she hasn't passed the test. So my question is to her, I said, have you ever been successful at anything in your journey before that you didn't get at the first try? And this client says, well, to be honest, I had cancer at such and such age. And I was going through chemo. I recovered fully. And you know what's funny, Dr. Lisa? I was also finishing college at the same time. So I kicked
She's a warrior.
And I'm like, oh, so here we've got two things. One, where you failed the driving test, the practical portion, a couple of times already, but you also were losing your life, and you didn't even think to stop from going to college. You continued while doing chemo. I'm seeing some resilience here. So here's the thing about our mindsets, Kim. Like, why did we pick the part that we failed the test twice over the fact that I overcame cancer?
I'm a cancer thriver.
Yes, I'm the first in my family I have a job and I go to work every week and I get a paycheck. I got up this morning and I went to work even though I didn't feel like. How is it our brain just defaults to the I can't?
That's a very important question.
I get to tell you that's a choice. You and I have the power to choose what we use as fuel for what we want to achieve.
Okay.
So I say 5 steps. Number 1, stop. Wait a minute. What are you thinking? If that thought feels like something that is limiting you, examine it closer. So the first step is stop. Think about what you're truly saying. Where is the lie in that thought that I'm not good and I fail? There's a lie in there. You have not. What about stopping and saying, I have not mastered the art of driving yet?
Right. Mackenzie, type those points backstage for me if you don't mind. So stop. What are you thinking is number 1.
Yes.
You're going to walk away with 5 takeaways today on your mindset and how to get a better handle on managing your mindset.
Yes. How are you thinking? So crush those limiting beliefs. So you're stopping, wait a minute, you're examining it, and you're thinking closely about what you're saying, finding the lie and the truth. Because the truth is you can't deem yourself not to be good because you haven't tried.
Right.
It's not that I can't, it's how can I?
Right.
So
number 2, what's number 2?
Number 2 is think about what you're saying. Number 1, stop. Number 2, think about what you're saying and ask yourself, how can I? Look for the proof is number 3. Number 3 is look for the proof. The proof is where my client was. I asked her, have you ever been successful at something you've tried and failed before? Yes, some people took a class twice. Some people literally have to do math over and over and over again to pass. Now that's a little bit deeper. What about the person who first rides a bike? Do you remember that child when you started riding a bike? Did you fall off several times?
Yes, of course.
So you're not a failure. Truth is, you're not a failure. So look for the proof in what you're saying. And number 4, I want you to take control. If what you're thinking is a lie, because
wait a minute, we missed number 3, so we
number
need to
3
go
is
back.
look for the proof.
Look
for the proof.
Look for the proof is number 3. Look for the proof.
Yes, that is it truly, now that you've stopped, you've thought about it, you've examined it, and you found that it's a lie, Look for the proof that you've succeeded before.
Good.
Look for the proof that you're not a failure. Look
Okay.
for the proof that this is really not all the way true, because we can smell a lie when someone's telling us, right? Well, listen to your own brain, because we're telling ourselves lies too. So look for the proof. And then number 4 is to take control. It is relatively easy for us to counteract those false beliefs and faulty thinking once we know that it's built on a faulty foundation that is not true. So if you're telling yourself that I can't, I ask you to tell yourself, how can I? Remember, we're talking about success in our career, success with our finances, success in relationships, is to find that creative life is not black and white. I used to say I'm a very black and white person. Well, I've taken that out of my vocabulary.
Right. It's great.
What I say is I'm
in a
a
lot of
very
areas.
creative person. And that is not in the stem of manipulation. No one, don't walk away that Dr. Lisa said that you should manipulate anyone. So you're taking control of that thought process now. Here's the thing, like we said earlier, number 4 is take control. Number 5 is get help. Why do I say get help? I'm saying get help because sometimes it's a little bit deeper than what we can take in those first 4 steps. Getting help looks like talking to a friend or loved one who can really help you reflect, or getting therapy, getting a coach. Because for those big ones, sometimes you need more work. It's not just going to be that 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. But I'm telling you, for most everyday limitations that's really stopping you from unlocking abundance in your life and living in a place of peace and prosperity, it's stuck within that right here. What are we thinking? Remember, we start off saying, think, say, do, become.
Right.
So those are the 4 steps with the limiting belief. And so we like I said, how can I negotiate for yourself? Empower yourself with negotiation. Don't sit back there and say, hey, this is what's happened to me. So I'm not, I'm doing way better than what I was supposed to be. Is that who you want to be?
Right.
What do you want to do and why? We also talked to Kim about doing the 3 steps of digging into the why. So stop, think, look for the proof. Stop, think, look for the proof. Then you're going to go ahead and take control of that thought. Good. And if needed, number 4. So you got it at step 4. But if for all else, get help for number 5.
This is good. And who can they get some help from? They can definitely reach out to you, huh?
Absolutely. One of the things, Kim, with my commitment to giving people, and that's one of the free gifts when you do go to my website at elisawhite.com/free gifts, you have the opportunity to go through a 21-day, I have it free on that space. You can go through 21 days of practicing, working against your limiting beliefs and cultivating a positive mindset. And that's just to get you started. And I'm telling you, if you follow the steps I just give you and you grab that, you're already in a change. Because look at my own journey. As I grew older and I dig deeper into how to heal, what I say, we need to create a toolbox, an arsenal for ourselves that can only be custom designed by us. And with help, it's better because then you have the professional support from people like myself and others. So you want to create a space where you have things to go to. Am I perfect in all my mindset? No, I'm a work in progress.
No one is, right.
But I have a toolbox that I've created for myself. And so I continue to add to my toolbox. I'm telling you, I've done all kinds of things that I didn't believe I could until the moment I start to think, but what if? I like to say, what if you succeed? And now when you say, what if, say, how can I? And create that for yourself.
And so from a success perspective, because to me, I think success is personal. And so it's kind of, when I say this question that I'm getting ready to ask to you, I actually already know the answer, but I want to hear it from your own words. What is something that you're most proud of as far as in your journey of success?
In my journey of success, I am most proud of all the lives from young children all the way through that even just by watching how I've overcome and how I'm evolving, even as we speak, that someone says, she can do it, I can do it.
Yes.
And I'm going to do it. And that's my biggest success. I've got so many wins and awards and progress that has even blown my own mind. But again, I sat there and thought, how can I? And what can I do to get it done? And so seeing others succeed is my biggest success and reward in my own personal life. And it
Wow.
sounds noble, but that's what it is for me.
What a blessing that is, because you know that you're paving the way for other people just to make their experience in their lives just a little bit easier because they've encountered you, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So I think that that's admirable. So I'm excited about it. And
Thank
I want to make sure too that if we want to go over to the virtual studio audience and see if there are any questions from anyone or any comments. I don't want to leave anyone out that may have had a question or a comment. Let's see.
I'm taking a look with you, just enjoying it.
Okay. Okay, I don't see. Let's see. I'm not actually seeing anything. Mackenzie, I don't know if you see any comments or questions back there. There's quite a few comments and stuff have come in throughout the broadcast today. I think that it's been a very informative session.
Yes.
And you've matriculated to be your doctor. So what type of doctorate do you have? Tell us about that.
So I've gotten quite a few honorary doctorates from around the world, and that's a blessing for me. And so my major is business administration and management. So, and I'm also an education major as well. So I work in both education and business. And so it's a blessing to do what I do. It's because I took off the limitations.
Yeah.
And I did not want to be cookie cutter anymore. I wanted to live out my purpose, which is truly just changing people's lives one mind at a time. A lot of people say heart. Well, I can't get to your heart if I don't get to your head first.
You better believe it. And what's something you do for fun? I mean, like we've heard so much of the serious, the trauma, all of the things that's happened. But tell us a fun fact about you.
A fun fact about me: I'm a complete jokester, but I love music. I'm a complete hoot. I love to clown and joke. And the fun thing about my life is I love to travel, so I love to do that, and that work is surrounded some of that. But I sing a lot. I could sing again. Kim Jacobs, the ballast doctor, or whatever. You'll find me.
I can't do that.
Stop, do, become. I'll be just singing. So I'm pretty quirky, but fun. My life, again, my work has integrated so well into my life that when you talk about work-life balance, I do sleep very well. A lot of people are surprised with everything that I'm involved. I get about 6 hours on average, sometimes 7 and 8, but I sleep very well. I think what we've taught ourselves is we have to create systems. And I say create those systems based on what your God-given purpose is. And the doors open up. It's my work is a play field for me. It's like, what do I get to do today? So I say, if you're not living your purpose and you're not passionate about it, and you're like, oh, another day of work. Oh God, I can't stand going in there. It's because you're not in alignment. You're not in balance.
Right. I get good rest. And my friends that are close to me know. I'm like, girl, it is time to shut it down. And even if I stay up later, I make it up in a nap or something. I get that rest. For sure.
Exactly. But the thing is, if you're doing what you love, it's only hard in the beginning. Here's a tip, a mindset shift. If you're doing something that has been hard for months or years on end, you're not doing the right thing. You're doing something wrong. So you need to stop and walk through the process, because it's only hard in the beginning. And you create systems as challenging. It is challenging, I'm sure, Kim, to have this show and get the guests coordinated, everything to move and just sit here for an hour. It looks like you do it flawlessly, right? But that's because you've put practice behind it. But also, no matter how challenging it becomes, I'm going to ask, aren't you enjoying this process and doing this?
Oh, I love this. I
can do you're living your purpose. Yes.
This is something I could just sit here and interview and hug virtually and do all of this all day long. And well, actually, I'm glad you said that because one of my friends, great show. Thank you, Mother Julia Harper, tuning in. She's in her 80s and she's watching today. Wow, I'm so glad to be here. Yet, this is what I needed, is in order to live on my purpose. Awesome, awesome. Is there a recording? I just came into this. I just walked in. Somebody said, let me just tell you the way that you can go and see this again. Go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Kim Jacobs Show. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notification bell to all, and you'll be able to get an alert whenever we go live, but you'll also be able to see this recording. Okay. Yes. All right. Make sure, again, if you all are do you feel a person has to have a degree to be successful? Judy asked.
The answer to that is no. No. I'll say this. Most individuals are stuck at, what do I have to get? I say, what do you need to do to get started?
Right.
Get started. So I believe in my journey, I've been a career coach for several years. I still coach people in the career space, and I work in an overall space of planning programs for employability. Here's the deal. Most jobs don't require you a degree to start. No. You might need a degree to promote yourself. My deal is, if you figure out what your purpose is, get started today. To answer your question, no. But if that particular industry requires a certain training, it might include a degree, but it doesn't say you can't get started in that industry. Right. So if your purpose is if you want to work in medicine and you feel like you're called to be a medical doctor, but at this point you're graduating high school, or you might even be 30 and you've already been doing something you don't love, but you want to be in the medical industry. The deal is if they won't hire you to walk in the doors, can you volunteer at the hospital and get familiar with the environment?
Absolutely.
And get your fuzzy feelings and passion going for being in that industry, and apply for working. Search Tech programs are like 1-year programs where you get the certificate, you get the training. Get started today. And I say, start with volunteering if they won't hire you, and convince them that you have skills to bring to the table. Absolutely. So the answer to that is no, but some industries require that degree. You're going to have to get it, but not to get started. It doesn't require you.
There are so many ways for you to utilize your gifts and talents. And so don't let anything pigeonhole you and prevent you from using your God-given gifts and talents to salt this earth. How can people stay connected with you one more time?
Absolutely. Go to AlisaWhite.com. All social media, type in Alisa White. That's ALISAWHYTE. You'll find me there. And let's talk about it. We're doing the grief session. It'll be there on replay. Connect with me, and let's shift our mindsets to gear ourselves for the life we want and that we were created for. Don't get stuck. How can I? Ask yourself. I got a lot to say, but the question is, how can I get to where I want? What do I have in my hands right now to get started now? It's always now.
Yeah, it's always now. Make sure you all tune in tomorrow. We're going to have the Renaissance man. His name is Delano Little. Little did we know. We're going to learn a lot about Delano Little, this businessman, sportscaster, and host of the Delano Little Show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You definitely don't want to miss this episode. And make sure you take a moment to go and register. Even if you're not going to participate, just go and donate and give towards Gabe's Heart Foundation.org. That's one of my most passionate projects that I work on, because I get to keep my son's heart beating through the donations that you give, through doing it Gabe's way, random acts of kindness. All right, everybody, that is today's episode. You were absolutely phenomenal, Dr. Alisa White.
Thank you.
I learned so much from you, and thank you for being my very special guest today.
Thank you. It's been an honor, Ms. Kim, and I look forward to talking with you soon as well on the back end. Everyone have a great day. Remember, everything begins with a thought. Ask yourself, how is your mind set? Is it primed for the things you say you want? And are you moving in that direction based on that? I wish you love, light, peace, and blessings. I am out. Thanks again.
All right. And on that note, Mackenzie, you can take us out. Have a great one, everybody. Hello, everyone, I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.